Good afternoon, everybody. It's great to see you today. Thanks for your patience as we're opening up the room and admitting everyone in. We've got a lot of people joining. So we're just going to give it 30 seconds while we allow for that to happen, and then we'll get started. Great to look around the room and see so many names and familiar faces. Thank you for joining us. So we'd love to know who you are and where you're calling in from today. If you want to throw it into the chat as we're waiting to get started, that would be wonderful. And being mindful of everyone's time, we'll move swiftly through the information, but allow ample time for. All right, it looks like our people who have joined are pretty much in, Terry. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Terry Tolan, our board member and Engage in Exchange co-chair.
You, Carol. So fun to see so many familiar names coming up in the chat. Welcome, everybody. As Carol said, I'm a member of the United Way Next board and have for 3 years been the chair of the Engage in Exchange work group, which is charged with programming to engage our members going forward. And we are thrilled to have had more than 55 people sign up for today's launch of the Consultant Collaborative. It's been in the works for a long time. We were just reminiscing that we probably first discussed this 2 years ago, but have worked earnestly on it for the last year with a subgroup of our Engage and Exchange work group. And then with a team of leaders that have been recruited more recently. United Way Next is a community of passionate United Way professionals and alumni, of course, who believe in the power of connection, collaboration, and continued impact. And what better way for us to do that than to bring those of you who post United Way career have gotten involved in working for the betterment of the United Way system and other nonprofit organizations through the United Way Consultant Collaborative. We've been working all summer with the leadership team to ensure that we're ready to launch today. And we're just excited to have this opportunity to engage with our former United Way colleagues in this important work. And of course, a critical element in any launch of a volunteer endeavor is the quality of the leadership. And we are most fortunate to have recruited from our Engage and Exchange work group, Patrick Jinks, a United Way alumni, United Way Next member, and also a very experienced consultant and coach to lead this effort going forward. So at this time, I'm going to again welcome you and turn you over to the capable hands of Patrick Jinks to talk about the Consultants Collaborative. Patrick?
Wow. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Looks like 40 people in the room already. What a great turnout. Thanks for coming. I'm very excited about this. And Terry and Carol have given a little bit of the background. I was so excited to know this effort, this concept was in the works, because when I got involved with United Way Next a couple of years ago, and Carol and I had this conversation, and she was saying, yeah, you know, we're looking at this group of consultants and how do we put this together? And I said, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I'd love to get involved in when I get into United Way Next. So it's a great fit for me. And I appreciate it. This has truly been a shared leadership thing. I just have to say to the United Way Next staff, if you haven't experienced how they get things done between the three of them, you're in for a treat watching them watching them work. Just incredible talent, dedication. How they stay on top of everything is beyond me. But they do, even when I don't. But we've really made some progress on this. So here's what we're going to do today. We want to make a few introductions, particularly of our leadership team of the Consultant Collaborative. This is the group that's really put the meat on the bones and helped advance move this forward. And we're going to self-introduce in a moment. And then I'd like to just walk you through what the heck is this. I want to give you the high level, and then I want to break it down into why you should care, why you would want to be involved in this if you are a consultant and a consultant member of United Way Next. We're going to do a little bit of show and tell. Ivy has done a ton of work putting together really the online real estate and house for this collaborative, including what I think is going to be one of the primary benefits of being a member of this, and that is a consultant directory that the United Way Network, who are participating in United Way Next, will have access to for us to be a resource to the network, not just to be a resource, but to be exposed as a resource and identified as such. We want to get a little bit of input from you toward the end of this call on a few things you'd like to see, particularly programmatically. And then we'll offer an opportunity at the end for any Q&A. So if you would, unless it's real pressing or there's something that's confusing that we say, drop something in the chat. And Ivy and Terry and others, if you'd help me keep an eye on that, because I'm bad about not looking at the chat, particularly when I'm presenting. But we'll wrap with that. We'll be no more than the hour and be sensitive of your time. And then the next steps after that is for you to officially join the collaborative. When we did this, we got a lot of interest. I think Carol, you had been talking with consultants for a while about interest in this. And then when we did a poll, a survey that the staff sent out, there was a lot more interest. And we thought, yeah, this will fly. There are enough talented, experienced consultants who are United Way alum and retirees to really put together a quality cadre of resource to the network. So I will start this off. I want to have the leadership team introduce themselves. There are a few of our leadership team members who are unable to be on this call today, and so we won't hear from everyone. But if you see your picture on this page here, we're going to get you to do a quick introduction. And particularly Terry, we've met you, but let's just do a quick introduction, and I'll tell you how this is supposed to go. You can follow my model. I'm Patrick Jinks. I'm a 20-year United Way alum, president and CEO of a couple of United Ways, interim CEO of a couple of others. I got my legs in the campaign world. My first role was a campaign and marketing director back in the mid 90s. Fun time to be a campaign person in United Way. And I left the United Way Network in 2014 to launch what I had been doing on the side for a while. That is a full-time leadership coaching company. And so we made it full-time in 2014. And so we do executive leadership coaching and strategy coaching based out of Columbia, South Carolina. So that's me. And that's how we'll do this. And I know Amy is not able to be here, nor is Diane. So the next two folks on this screen are not here today, but Amy D'Onofrio and Diane Lebson are part of this team and really offering a lot of great value as well. Trent, I think you're on the call. You're next on the screen here.
In the chat, Trent has said he's in listen only mode, Patrick. He's
he's in listen only
public
mode.
space.
All right. Well, so Trent is in listen only mode. And I don't know if that's for the whole call. So maybe we'll come back to Trent a little bit later. Jeffrey is also not able to be here. I know Naomi is here. Naomi, quick introduction from you.
Absolutely. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Yes?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, we got you.
You can? Okay, good. I've got a weird situation happening. I'm sitting in a cafe in Nashville. So I'm Naomi. I was with United Way in East Tennessee, serving Anderson, Campbell, Morgan, and Scott counties for 10 years, and left, about a year and a half ago. And I am a full-time consultant now here in East Tennessee, and willing to travel anywhere that it's pretty. So everybody has somewhere good. So happy to travel anywhere across the U.S. or hell, I'd travel across the world if you want me to. But I do mostly leadership development, team building, that kind of thing. And I'm thrilled to be here and love the United Way Next team. So thank you all.
Very good. Appreciate that. And by the way, Trent is Trenton Caldwell. He is a former United Way Enterprise Project Manager, and he's an alum. He was in Atlanta, Georgia, and now he's in Texas. And so we got people from all over the place. Lindsay, I don't know if I saw Lindsay on the call. Are you here? Awesome. Introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lindsay Fox. I am the former CEO of United Way Fresno Madera counties, served in that role for about 8 years, have been an alum for a couple years now, and am consulting, loving working with local United Ways on everything from coaching to leadership development to board governance and lots of strategy development. So happy to be here today. I'm so excited to see so many of you new faces and some old friends, and looking forward to what's to come serving here with you all.
Fantastic. Thanks, Lindsay. So again, just a thanks to the leadership team. I will tell everyone on this call, when we reached out to every single person on this leadership team, we got a response, I think within minute. I mean, it was really fast. And the response was absolutely happy to serve, excited about this. And everybody has really served with a lot of commitment and presence and engagement. So thanks for that. Terry, I'm going to come back to you because just a little bit, give us your quick United Way background as well, and remind us of your role now at United Way Next.
Patrick, I was a 23-year United Way alumni. I left the United Way in 2011 to head up the Governor's Office of Early Childhood for the Governor of Kentucky, and left there in 2016 and have been doing consulting on a part-time basis ever since, working broadly with the nonprofit community, everything from museums to regulatory boards. I primarily focus on strategic planning, and have actually facilitated United Way Next's last strategic plan, which resulted in the name change and the change in membership. So happy to be of help as a volunteer as well as a consultant.
Awesome. And for those that don't know, Terry is married to Joe Tolan, who has a United Way, distinguished United Way career of his own, and is also a United Way Next member. 30 years. Yeah. So Joe and Terry, yeah, I never want to miss an opportunity to say how much they have meant to me throughout my United Way career and beyond, just through a couple of different things that we've stayed connected through afterwards. So thank you, Terry.
Thanks, Patrick.
Carol, reintroduce yourself to everybody.
Hey, everybody. Carol Peters. I know so many of you. I'm proud to serve as United Way Next CEO, and I'm a former United Way professional from the United Way Network. Talked with so many of you over the last 18 months, and this is part of the reason you joined Next. So if we haven't yet met, I look forward to that conversation, and we'll turn it back to Patrick.
Awesome. And Ivy, much of the behind the scenes work and a lot of the stuff that you see comes from her talented hands. Introduce yourself, Ivy.
So I am the Marketing Communications and Events Manager for United Way Next. I spent about a year and a half with Sioux Empire United Way before starting with this role back in January. And then outside of this, I'm an author, speaker, and consultant focused on accessible marketing practices, inclusive business strategies, and low energy entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Ivy doesn't look, she really holds her age well. She's 67. And that's how she's done all that she is doing. She just ages extremely well. So thank you for that. Kirsten is one we see even less of because she's maybe a little even more behind the scenes. But I want to take an opportunity to hear from her as well, part of the United Way Next team. Kirsten, introduce yourself.
Hi, thanks, Patrick. I am the newest member of the United Way Next team. I'm the membership and engagement coordinator here. I am super part-time. I work 15 hours a week, so I'm behind the scenes, as Patrick said. I'm also previously from the network as well. I was a CEO for 4 years for a small United Way here in Illinois, where I currently live. And happy to be on the call with all of you today.
Thank you, Kirsten. When you were saying I'm behind, I thought you meant I work 15 hours a week, so I'm behind. Because I work more than that and I'm still behind. But behind the scenes, yes, thank you for being here. Glad you're on this call. Just thank you all. I really do appreciate it. Let me move into this and sort of set this up in terms of what the collaborative is intended to be. First of all, we're calling it the Consultant Collaborative because the idea is that as a cadre of talent and skill and passion for the sector, we are really as a group collaborating to serve the sector, particularly the United Way network. We want to do things together when we can. We don't want to do this to set each other up and pit each other against each other to compete for business. We want to allow exposure to everyone for potential business, yes, but this is all about us serving the network and saying, we're here. Some of us are strategic planners. Some of us are marketers. Some of us are CPAs or attorneys or results-based accountability consultants or evaluators. There's the mix of talent in this room is incredibly valuable to the network. And so that's the name is designed to tell us we're here to collaborate with each other. There, believe me, and you know this as consultants, there's enough for all of us out there. there is a lot of need that the people in this room could never even get to all of it. So our purpose is to leverage that asset of our talent and our expertise and experience for the benefit of the United Way network. And yes, beyond. Many of you are consulting nonprofits more broadly as a sector. Some of you are consulting, as I am, coaching and consulting even outside the nonprofit sector into the business consultant, business and corporate sector, or the public sector, the government sector. So that's really the purpose of the collaborative is let's not waste this asset. Let's synergize it and make it available to the network. There is mutual benefit really for everyone being a part of this. And just starting at the top left corner of this matrix up here, being a part of this does give us exposure to the network, and that's business development. That gives us potential clients. It's much like being a part of a chamber of commerce, for example. It's calling ourselves out as consultants and being exposed to the network of organizations that might lean on us. Going to the top right, one of the big benefits for us is that this is an opportunity for consultants to learn from each other and do some peer-to-peer building through some content programming that we're going to talk about later. Going around clockwise, being a part of this collaborative will help us be more in tune with and apprised on the trends and happenings in the landscape, the United Way universe, the social landscape. And then finally, it is an opportunity for collaboration for the benefit of the sector. I will tell you, I'm leading another consultant collaborative, which is the South Carolina State Nonprofit Consultant Collaborative. And we have literally pulled together joint RFPs, and we've had 3 or 4 consultants work with a single client because somebody knows they need this, and this, and I'm not the best fit to deliver all this. So let me call some of my consultant partners that I've met through the collaborative and bring a team. So lots of benefit there. I'm going to walk through quickly. First, the eligibility. If you're wondering, well, what's the qualification for being a part of this? It's pretty simple. You got to be a member of United Way Next. That's to start. And you just got to be a consultant. That's really it. If you identify as a professional consultant, part-time or full-time, particularly for United Ways and other nonprofits, we want you. There is a $200 annual investment in this, sort of subscription based, to be a member of the collaborative. This is in addition to whatever level you are contributing or paying to be a United Way Next member. So if you're at that $35 level, this would be an additional $200 to be a part of the collaborative. We're about to show you what the value of that is. Many of you are already contributing to United Way Next beyond that $35. I'm included in that, and I will continue to do that. I see this as, while it's a part of United Way Next, it is its own thing, and it needs its own support. And it takes money to run it, and we want to make sure that we support it and that we've got some skin in the game. But we also want to create a return on investment for each other. And then finally, we will have, it's in almost final draft mode, a code of conduct for consultants. To say, this is how we agree to operate as a consultant if we're going to be part of this collaborative. And it's pretty straightforward. I don't think there's anything in it that any of you would say, I don't think I'm willing to commit to that. So that's it. Agree to the code of conduct, pay a $200 annual investment, be a consultant, be a current member of United Way Next, and then let's learn together. I've said this many times. I say it about everything. I'm a huge believer that in things like this, you get out what you put in. So for consultants who dive in and you come to the programming and you network and you learn and you hone your skills, you share what you know, you learn from others, you get to know other consultants, the $200 will be nothing. I mean, it'll be a no-brainer if we're doing those things. If on the other hand, you just want to, look, I'm in this because I want to be in the directory. I don't want to be active. I don't want to do a lot of stuff. I just want to be on the directory. That's fine. Same annual investment. And quite honestly, that alone might be worth your investment. But just remember, you get out of this what you put into it. Let me move on to some of the benefits. And I've already mentioned some of them. I'm going to blow through these really quick. And we'll make sure that everyone has a copy of these slides, and there's a recording of this that you can go back to and listen to. But these are one of the things is this gives us an opportunity for professional development just for ourselves. So we do a lot for the sector. United Ways have their own webinars and things on fundraising and governance. What about us as consultants? We want to learn from each other and get better at what we're doing. Being a member gives us invitation to new and prospective member orientation. So there will be a couple of times throughout the year, at least, that we will offer an opportunity for you to be fully onboarded as to what this is and how to get engaged and what the benefits are. I mentioned listing in not only the membership directory at United Way Next, but the consultant directory. I really want to emphasize that directory because that is what we're going to be offering and marketing to the United Way network to say, hey, here is a directory of very United Way committed, experienced experts in a number of different fields that want to serve you and that can serve you. So that being a part of that directory is critical. Gives you entry into the United Way Next membership hub, which again, only members are given access to, as well as the consultant collaborative hub. That's going to evolve and grow as we go. And we're going to want to hear from you as to what you think might be included in that. There will be some dedicated features and member spotlights across the United Way Next marketing channels. You've seen a lot of this already. United Way Next staff does a great job of highlighting people and things and events and from a social aspect to a professional aspect. So we're going to be able to lift that specifically for the consultants in the collaborative. You'll get updates on United Way frameworks, trends, happenings across the network. We want to stay in tune with what's going on in the network. So we are informed, current, relevant consultants to local United Ways. And then you'll get participation in quarterly consultant, we're calling them roundtables, programs, whatever you want to call it. Some of our get-togethers will be of a sort of networking and learning from each other and maybe small group chats. Others will be presentation style, where we will hear from each other. You'll have an opportunity to submit a proposal on, hey, I think I've got something valuable for the consultants. I do really well with AI, and I may want to help teach the consultants how I'm using AI. Whatever that might be, you'll have that opportunity to collaborate. Continuing that list, not only will you have access and invites to the events, but those will all be archived. So if you happen to miss one, you'll be able to go back and hear a recording, including this launch call, as well as any resources that come out of those meetings. You'll have the ability to provide and or receive guidance through our mentorship program. Carol can tell you a whole lot more about that and what it's about, but you can be a mentor or a mentee. You will have early access to the United Way Next guest speaker application for upcoming events. So not just for the collaborative, but for the whole United Way Next membership and movement, including perhaps some things going on just in the network in general. Free listing in the United Way Next member discount hub, access to performance link. Not going to go in detail into that, but that's some United Way database access that helps us understand what's going on in the network. And then the other thing this does is this gives us the opportunity to be a little closer to some potential warm introductions that United Way Next staff can make for us on behalf of local United Ways and the greater United Way network. So there's being in the directory, but there's also, once it comes down to a point where a local United Way knows exactly what they want, they're in a particular region, Carol happens to know, several people that maybe she can connect to as the highest potential contacts and resources. That gives us a little bit more preference being a part of the collaborative. What we're asking or inviting you to do today is be among the very first members, or what we call early adopters. And there's already a registration page where you can go right on, pay your $200 and jump right in. And there's a few things that would make it worth your while to do that. First of all, it gives you immediate access to any RFPs from United Way Worldwide or regional conferences. In fact, one of those just came out a few weeks ago, and I think their deadline's passed now, but those are the kinds of things as a member you will have access to even before anybody else joins. You'll get an invitation, a specific invitation to our inaugural event, which is going to be sort of a social hour, a little bit of networking, a little more hearing from each other. We're going to do that in November. We'll talk more about that later. You'll get placement in the directory immediately. So even before it launches to the public, when it launches, you're in it. And that's what we want. There will be some special acknowledgement for early adopters on the Consultant Collaborative page. You want to say, hey, here are sort of kind of what you might call charter members, although we're not calling it that. You can, if you do this now, you do get the $200 rate. We did a lot of conversing around what that annual investment should be. I personally think it's worth more than that. And I'm not ashamed or abashed to say that. It could go up at some point, after a year, if there's high demand, if there's more that we want to do. So getting in early gets you in at this $200. You get any personalized assistance you need from the team on gaining access to some of these things like United Way Online and the performance link, et cetera. You get an invitation to attend the Alice Summit, which is in January in Miami. These are things you will get specific invitations to that not everybody else will. So we want to encourage you to become an early adopter in that. I'm going to pause right here. I think I see some questions kind of coming in, and I think they're being handled in the chat. So we'll keep it going and then hold questions again for our Q&A. I'm going to turn it over to Ivy to give us a little bit of look of what we're talking about when we say a consultant collaborative website or hub, and particularly the directory. So Ivy, let me turn it to you.
Yes, and give me 1 second. I'll go ahead and share my screen.
Do I need to unshare my? No, you got it. Good.
Nope, I got it. So one of the things that we are going to be doing is creating a consultant collaborative hub for all of you guys. So it's going to be specific to all of the members of the consultant collaborative. You guys have complete access to it. And on the internal back end side of things, we will keep it updated for you. So one of the things you will be a part of is the consultant directory. At this time, we've already got all of our leadership team members in here. So we've got Naomi, Trent, Amy, a couple of the people that you've heard from today already. On the main page of the directory, you'll be able to search by consultant name, where they're located, because some people indicated that they do destination events, some people just do local events, their involvement with United Way Next, if they're obviously they're going to be a consultant, but if they're a volunteer, if they're a board member, in their top 4 consulting specialties. And then just to show you real quick, then when you click on somebody and viewing as either a consultant looking for another type of consultant or a United Way, a local United Way looking for a consultant, you'll be able to see their bio, how long they've been consulting for, any credentials that they've got. They'll have direct access to their contact information. You also, when you fill out your opt-in form for the directory, you'll get to select how we can work together. If you want to choose very specific consulting, session types, locations, if you consult in multiple languages. We've also got consulting specialties. So you've got your top 4 on the main directory page, but then everything that you specialize in will be on this page, as well as a bio for your United Way journey. Any United Way department experience you had, and then there's an opportunity that if somebody is interested in a warm introduction with you, they would be able to reach out directly to us and we could introduce you guys. From there, we've also got in the hub a past events library page, like Patrick mentioned. So similar to if you've ever gone to the past events library on our main website, this is going to be specific to all of the consultant collaborative events. So I've already got a placeholder in here for today's event, as well as November's social. And then there will be 6 events in 2026. 2 will be orientations for anyone that is new or a prospective member of Consultant Collaborative, and then 4 will be dedicated to your peer support and learning and all of those things. And then lastly, for now, I'm sure we will build additional pages, but we will also have a page for available RFPs, as Patrick mentioned. So right now, I haven't confirmed that the other ones have 100% closed. They may have extended their deadlines a little bit further, but they were supposed to close before today. But we do currently have the United Way Next 2026 guest speaker application available, and you can submit to be a guest speaker for one of our events in 2026. And that is due on October 10th. So just to give a little plug, and we may still send out an email just letting you know, hey, there's something new on the page, but you'll be able to go to this page and see anything that is open and available for you guys. But that's everything I've got. If you guys have questions, I can show more. Otherwise, I will hand it back to Patrick.
So I've already joined, but this makes me want to join again. I just want to go back in and join again. And by the way, I don't know if you see it in the chat, but Neil said, hey, I'm sold. I just signed up. It was really easy, not a difficult decision. So thank you for that. Ivy, thank you for the tremendous amount of work. I do a little bit of this web stuff. It is so time consuming to test and retest and design and test again and retest and make mistakes and have to hound people like me for content, and it's just wonderful. Fantastic stuff. And I will just tell everybody, this is the beginning of it. You're looking at the ground floor. The idea is that we want to build this out. There are lots of things that we can do with such a product. So I want to thank you all for that, particularly Ivy. Just thank you. It's fantastic. let me come back to going through some of the other things we want to make sure you know about. Here are some tentative event dates for 2026. These are consultant collaborative events. These are not United Way Broad events, just for you as a member. First of all, I mentioned in later this year in November, we're going to have our first programming. A little bit more on that later. That's going to be just sort of a gathering and a social. We'll have some conversations about what we want to get out of it. There'll be a lot that we'll cover in an hour there, get to meet each other a little bit better, and without having to just follow slides through a program. Okay. And then we're looking at 4 programs, a minimum of 4 programs, I would say, quarterly throughout the year. February, May, August, and November. When we say programs, those may be times when we're conversing with each other in sort of a, summit form where we're having small group conversations around what are some of the challenges and how can we learn from each other, and what are some of the questions we have about United Way, or what are some of your best practices and tech tools. We will do some of that. We will also have programs that have a speaker or two or a panel where we're learning about running a consultant business, the financial aspect of it, the legal and ethical aspect of it. What about marketing? What about sharpening our facilitation skills or getting versed in AI? Any of those things that can benefit us as consultants, that's what these programs are designed to do. And then we've got in March and September, we'll have moments much like United Way Next does already with new United Way Next members, some member orientation, and we will invite others, prospective members, to come to those so that we can continue to market and grow the collaborative. So we don't have exact dates. Those will be forthcoming soon. But we, knowing that we're across the country, we'll be taking into consideration things like time zones and all of that. These will all be virtual meetings. I would love to see a time, Carol, I don't know if I've even told you this. I'd love to see a time when we could have an in-person gathering of members of the consultant collaborative, even if it's a social sort of thing like we do with United Way Next. So anyway, those are some of the key dates to look for. And now we want to hear from you. And what I'd like for you to do, if you would, and if you've got a thought on this, drop over to the chat box and tell us, just bullet lists or separate them by commas, or if one comes to your mind, just drop one in there. What are some of the topics you would find of value or of interest in these consultant collaborative gatherings that we have? What kinds of learning programs would help you as a consultant? And just drop those in the chat. We'll just spend a few minutes on this, give you time. I know I'm catching you off the cuff here for this, but I've named a few just as examples. I don't know if those resonate with you, but we also want to hear if there are any other ideas. So, I'm gonna try to read some of these out loud as they come in. Mergers, acquisitions, and closure. Yes, Maya, boy, we should talk. Like, my thing is, yeah, more of them, please. Using AI ethically, yeah, emerging trends always. Come back to your question in a little bit, Robin. Carol, you may want to take a look at that one. Navigating leadership transitions. Ooh, yeah, yes, absolutely. Boy, we probably should have put that one in the poll that's coming up. That's a good one. We hear that a lot. I've got a number of clients right now, some of whom are doing it really well, and some of them who really aren't. Grappling with AI. Yeah, hourly rate. Yeah, pricing structures. While we won't necessarily share each other's rates, we can certainly talk about when is it good to have an hourly or sort of billable hour structure versus value pricing, or pricing by the day or by the contract. These are great. Intentional networking and cohort building. We definitely intend to do some of that, Tom. What's current at United Way worldwide? Yep. I mean, I will tell you, just even the framework for a thriving United Way, just that model alone, I have found incredibly valuable as I've worked with a few United Ways on it. How to construct a contract. Yes. I mean, these are things a lot of consultants don't even think about a contract. It's a handshake and a phone call. And then they find themselves in a little bit of a bind. I see this on a lot of consultant listservs I'm on in Facebook groups. So, hey, what happens when a client does such and such? And everybody will say, what does the contract say? We don't have one. Basics, yeah, taxes, business structures. What's the difference between an LLC and a sole proprietorship or anything else? Tools people are using, yes. Oh, these are great. And this is good. These are coming fast. Yeah, so keep those coming and shoot them to us in an email. Email Carol or Ivy or me or Terry or anybody on the leadership team and say, hey, I've got some ideas for what might work. Systemic team coaching. Betsy, I'm doing a ton of that right now too. More referrals and collaboration opportunities. Yes. Great. Expanding the modality, all that branding. Yes. Yeah, this is good. So let me Ivy, I'm going to turn it to you and I'm going to ask you to launch this poll. So now that you've put some open-ended topics, now we'd love for you to just complete this poll that pops up on your screen. And I think you'll be able to check any that apply. So if you're interested, make sure you use the scroll bar to see all of them. There's more than just what shows up on the original screen. So use the scroll bar. There's 10 or 12 topics here. And I'd love for you to just click on every one of them that you would find of interest.
It looks like about 25%. Okay, we're jumping up there now. Nearly half of you guys have already filled out the poll. And then to Patrick's point, and I included it in the chat, there will be a quick 3-question survey after this call with an open-ended box for you guys to throw in any suggestions you have. And I am trying to save some of them, but I'm also making note of all of your guys' questions for the Q&A as well. And it looks like 31 of 35% have participated, about 88%. So Patrick, it is up to you when you want me to end this poll.
Yeah, let's keep it going a little bit. Leave it open for another minute here. Actually, Ivy, I'm oddly enough, I don't know what to click on. I see the choices and the bars coming through, but I'm trying to complete the poll myself and can't. Is that because I'm a host?
Yep. Co-host and host can't do the poll. So
I got you. I was like, where are people
assume that it's
clicking here?
ignoring us.
Okay, I got it. Good enough. Good enough. This is good. Let's give it 15, 20 more seconds. I want to make sure everyone sees the list and clicks on everything that would be relevant to you. And, you know, from what we're seeing here, it looks like pretty much everything has a lot of relevance. The ethical and legal, the trends in the nonprofit sector, and the marketing ones look to be maybe the most popular. And this is helpful because it helps us understand if we want to have even a series on something or multiple trainings, you know, where we hit on AI more than once or whatever the topic might be. So this is great. And I've seen the bars move a couple times. So let's give it 5 more seconds.
While we're waiting on that, I saw Kirsten's note, and I just want to give out a shout out real quick to obviously Patrick, Naomi, Jody, Robin, Victor, Lindsay, and Neil, who have all already joined the Consultant Collaborative.
Yeah. All right. Maybe we can double that by the end of the call. Okay, so you can close the poll, Ivy. This is great. We'll keep
Do you want me
that.
to share those results to the group or leave it?
Yeah, share them.
And you guys should be able to see it on your screen.
Looks pretty balanced.
Yeah, a lot of great interest.
Yeah, I don't see anything that nobody's interested in. So the next thing to think about is if you're an expert in any of these areas and you feel like you can present on it, the time will come when we'll open up a call for it. Terry wants it all, or she says we want it all. Yes, we do. We're greedy. We want everything, and there will be time. We'll get it. We'll get it over time. All right. Thank you, Ivy. Let me come back to. Let me come back to my screen. Is my screen sharing now, Ivy? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to wrap it up here in a minute. Give you some time to ask some questions, or we'll try to get to some of the questions in the chat that we haven't gotten to. But November 5th, mark your calendar. You'll get an invite to this if you sign up and join the collaborative. So this is for the early adopters. The early subscribers, joiners to the collaborative will be invited to our first sort of social hour virtually. It'll be at an hour, it'll be 3:00 Eastern time on November 5th. We don't have a firm agenda set up yet, but it's going to be fairly loose. We want to be comfortable. We also want to have some value in it. So this is just our first opportunity to meet each other a little bit better, share some ideas, experiences. Some of you have been involved in other groups like this, consultant affinity groups. We might want to hear from you. And then just again, starting to strengthen these connections. So we're going to, in a moment, Doris, we're going to offer a number of links for you to click. Well, there it is. Ivy's always on it. Let me see where I am here. Yeah, so here are some next steps you can take. First of all, if somehow you're on this call and you're not yet a United Way Next member, I don't think that would be the case. I think these were United Way Next members that were invited to this. But if you happen to not be or not be current, click on the link. Well, you can't click on the screen. So Ivy, you may have to drop these in as we go through them. But on becoming a United Way Next member, and is that the same page to renew? Yes. Okay. So if you need to become a member or renew, that first link, and there it is. Ivy just dropped it in the box. If you're ready now to join the consultant collaborative, as a number of you have done on this call, the second link, which Ivy shared previously, but she'll drop it in again here on becoming a United Way membership. And yes, Eve, the $200 is separate from your United Way membership. And at whatever level you're contributing, from the minimum dues to any other that you're adding, we'd really like for everyone to hold this as a separate and distinct investment. The third one will be accessible to you once you've joined the collaborative. And that is, once you join the collaborative, make this registration for the social hour in November, make that the next thing you do so that you're in on that. And if you're not sure, you just today, you don't know for sure if you're going to do it or not, at least sign up for the waiting list or the wait list to get more information, keep it in front of you, get additional opportunities to register, etc. At least sign up for the wait list if you're not ready to join the collaborative today. Okay, so I think all those links are either there or coming. All right, this is where we will pause. And find out if anyone has any questions. Carol or Ivy, I'll turn to you, or Terry. Any that you've seen in the chat box come up that you want to bring out to the group?
I have been copying and pasting a couple of the questions that I found. I might have missed a couple, and just put them in the chat. So if you guys want to take whatever applies to what you know, feel free. I know Carol might be able to answer some, Kirsten might be able to answer some, Patrick, myself. And then Kirsten, there is also a note from Jody in the chat if you want to own making sure their email is set up and everything is correct in Salesforce.
Yes.
All right. So
I'll
let's just take some of these. Carol, you want to take this first one on the logo?
Absolutely. So I just want to first say thanks to Patrick and Terry for helping us kick this off today. Patrick, for just taking us through. For all of you who have already said yes and signed up, this is wonderful. I know many of you have been patiently waiting for this as members of United Way Next, and I hope you're super excited. So I addressed some of the questions or gave answers in the chat, but I'll just run through these very quickly in the amount of time we have left. We are United Way Next. We are the Alumni Association, and we're made up of retirees, alumni, current staff. Our United Way Next logo is affiliated to United Way Worldwide, and we share the same brand. United Way Worldwide is separate, but we work in partnership because we are a standalone 501c3. So our budget is our budget, and this is an opportunity for us today to generate some additional new revenue through the consultant collaborative. So it's really been strategically important to us as an organization, but also important to our members who are excited about what's next. As far as sharing in the online community space and information to collaborate, I think we addressed that a little bit in the membership hub. Ivy, if you want to address that.
Yep. So in addition to the hub, we will also have, right now we have a private Facebook group for United Way Next members. We also have a LinkedIn group for anyone that isn't a member and is a member. And then we have kind of toyed with the idea of creating a group specific for the consultant collaborative, just in case you guys want to have conversations and things like that. But you are always welcome to resource share and ask questions and things like that in our other groups as well.
I would encourage us to have our own, like we can do a private Facebook page too, just for the consultant collaborative. I think I could find that very helpful and of additional and different value than just the United Way Next one.
Sounds great. For the consultants who list coaching, will you ask people to include coaching credentials? If that is important to you, I would say that would be a minimum, because obviously if you have a certain degree or credential, we would encourage you to put that out there, because it will maybe make a difference depending on who's referring what back and forth amongst you as consultants and coaches. Would it be possible to register for the collaborative, or would we need to register separately? That's I think it was Robin who asked that. So Robin, let's try to have an offline conversation around what that might look like, given that part of your team is not a United Way professional. And then for Q&A, have we considered the badge or an image that could set you apart as part of this collaborative? So that's a great idea. There has been some conversation around the Thriving United Way framework model. And if people go through training and are prepared to help assist with strategic planning and things, that a badge could be created, which would really help others have you stand out amongst just anyone who might be doing consulting. So it's something we'll take into consideration. The ideas that are brought up today will come back to the leadership team so we can decide what makes sense and how do we move forward. Knowing that we're very open and this is an innovative opportunity, right? And you're all kind of helping us have a hand in it.
Carol, just for a quick clarification on this, I think what this question is about, we might be talking about two different badges, because this one is a badge that just says, I'm a member of the United Way Next Consultant Collaborative. We can put that on our own LinkedIn page, our own profiles and things outside of the hub. And then a badge inside the Consultant Collaborative directory for those consultants who have, for example, become like certified or trained in the Thriving United Way Network framework, for example, would be a different badge that holds those consultants a little differently in a little different space than everybody else. Whoever asked that question can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think that question is about just a general little badge that says UWN Consultant Collaborative, right? Just I'm in it.
I took that question the same way, and then I'll hand it over to Bonnie. But yes, we can absolutely create a badge like that. We currently have one that says it's a temporary photo frame for either like Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever, that does say cheers to 35 years to celebrate our 35th anniversary. I am more than happy to make one specific for Consultant Collaborative members. In addition to be listed in the consultant directory, you would also be listed in the membership directory of all United Way Next members, and you would get a special badge there as well, saying that you are a part of the Consultant Collaborative. So there will be a couple different ways that we can feature you in addition to just this directory as well. But if you guys want a temporary picture frame for LinkedIn, I will happily make you one.
I think we addressed all the questions, Ivy, that you had placed there. Sarah just mentioned, how do we get certified for the Thriving United Way framework? Good question. So that's still underway, and that's a whole part of this collaborative piece, and we'll keep you posted as that evolves. It's been under discussion for a while. So again, a great place for us to give you an update maybe in November at the social hour once people have joined. Bonnie Duncan, I saw your hand up.
So I just have a quick question. With the directory, I see that it looks like it's going to be an online directory through United. How is it going to be either distributed beyond that, or where do the referral linkages come from? Like, is there another space on United Way Online? I'm just trying to understand how you get from the directory to the referral.
Mhm. I know Carol will definitely speak about the referral process, but also just an FYI, our member directory and our consultant directory will both be on our main website. So anyone that does go to our website will be able to get it as a member resource. It's directly in the navigation menu, so it'll be easy to find. And as long as they are a member, they will be able to open it.
As far as direct referrals, we'll be exclusively bringing all of the referrals that come through the United Way network or any of our members that might request a consultant, a contract worker, an executive coach, or have you through the collaborative. So that individual will either need to be a member of United Way Next, or their United Way needs to be supporting in order to have access. And then once that's it's available to them as a member benefit, then they would have access to review the directory, scroll through, decide who they want to work with, and from there identify their top consultant choices, and I can make those warm introductions to directly connect them to you. But it's ultimately up to them to really make the decision who they want to work with. And if they have questions specific to anyone, obviously I could reach out to the consultant directly, or, just let them know what I know about you as the work that you're all doing. So we've been doing this, just so everyone knows, for the last 3 years. We've been getting inquiries from the United Way Network and our members for consultants and contract workers. It's been building, not significantly, so there's no promises that you will get a contract out of this United Way Next collaborative. But our hope is that between all of you connecting with each other, doing this work across the country, and other opportunities that come through United Way Next as it continues to grow, that there will be opportunity for you to receive some referrals throughout the year.
Carol, can you just clarify for me, because I'm not sure I heard it right? Are you saying that if a United Way is not part of United Way Next, they would not have access to the directory? Is
That's
that
right, Bonnie?
Okay.
It is a membership privilege.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And United Ways can join United Way Next for $100, so it's well worth the investment if that's what they're looking to do, is to connect with consultants. And I really think they will, based on my experience.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you. Great question.
And I've seen a couple more
Again, thank you
questions.
everybody for joining us today, and so many of you for making that investment for your future as a consultant. And we'll look forward to seeing most of you, we hope, in November at the special gathering for early adopters. So thanks for being here.
Thank you all. Super, super excited that you're here. See you next time.